And that ice storm was the time that Sarah Burns, the former CEO of Central Maine Power, became president. I spoke with her before she retired during her last days in office.
2 younger brothers, 2 younger sisters, 2 older brothers, and 4 older sisters.
For those keeping score at home, Sarah Burns is one of 11. She grew up in Villanova, Pennsylvania.
We were told we were going to college, but going to college meant going away. That was part of the theory in our house.
She moved to Maine for college.
Actually, I had a sister who was at Bowdoin. She was in the first class of women at Bowdoin, and I did visit her. And I remember thinking, yeah, this is a nice place, but I'm not going to school with my sister, so Colby was the alternative.
1987 was the year Burns started working for Central Maine Power, to her surprise.
I actually got a rejection letter and said I wasn't qualified. And then 9 months later, I got a call when I was at Unum, and they asked me if I was still interested in that job that apparently I hadn't been qualified for.
In 1998, the year of the historic ice storm, she became president of CMP.
I was new in the job. A lot of people at this company would have said at that point in time, why did she get the job? One of the biggest parts of the job is storm, and she's never run a storm, and then here comes the biggest storm in our history.
At one point during this time, Burns, a 3-sport varsity athlete in high school, heard something any athlete despises to hear: doubt.
One night, one of our own line workers, very loudly in the cafeteria, stood up and said, "We are never going to get this done." You know, I looked at him and I said, "Of course we're going to get this done. We're going to go back out tomorrow. We're going to pick up one more pole. We're going to set a pole. We're going to string wire. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it until we get it done. And I know we're going to get it done." Half of me wanted to laugh. The other half of me wanted to cry. But it was a real lesson in you have to stand up. You have to take ownership. You have to be the energy and optimism. You have to be the solution. And you have to say, "Hey, guys, we're on it. We're going to get it done."
She became chief executive officer in 2005. To Burns, being a woman in such a role is besides the point.
There's a lot of people who would tell you that I'm not the woman who's focused on women's issues and always talking about women's issues and pushing women's issues. I'm the woman focused on results, making sure this is a great company. It is. Making sure we have great employees. We do. We have extraordinary employees. And I've been trying to encourage growth of all of our employees.
After 30 years at Central Maine Power, it was time to retire.
I think everybody makes their own decision about when it's time to retire. I thought long and hard about this, had lots of discussions with my husband about this. It's just the right time for me. So the one thing that I reflect on as I'm looking at my retirement is I've worked with an extraordinary group of people. The people here at this company are passionate. They're energetic, they're hard workers, they care deeply for results.
And as for her get-it-done attitude, she says it came from growing up with all those siblings.
Well, you know, I think if you meet people who are from large families, and it depends if they're the older, the middle, or the younger, everybody has some opinion about it, but I've always said you're kind of a survivor. You got to stand up for yourself, and so I think you do learn some skills that are necessary when you lead a company.
So Lee,